Hi, everybody. Welcome to VR for Work. My name's Rick, and I'm your host here at VR for Work. And today is October 3rd, 2020. And we're bringing to you another session from here in our favorite platform for doing these productions, Spaces. Now, we had mentioned several weeks back, over a month ago, that Spaces development has shut down. And so I'd been experimenting with some other platforms to bring you the show in. We've done some things in Immersed. We've done some things in Engage. And both of them are certainly workable solutions. But frankly, I haven't found anything quite as full-featured that I think gives you the quality output that Spaces has. So as long as it continues to function, we will continue to occasionally come back to Spaces and use it to give you the show. And so thanks again for being with us. Well, today we're talking to you about something a little bit different, but very important, and that is VR headset and experience management. And so we're going to be talking to you today about Grove XR. And so we'll take a second and get across the stage to our usual spot and get our monitors set up. And then we will jump in. All right, there we are. Okay, and so today we're talking to you about headset management for the Oculus Go and the Oculus Quest. And the application is Grove XR. Now, I've seen Grove XR, played with it a little bit over the past year. It's in the SideQuest store. And I didn't know a whole lot about it. Thought I'd load it up and kind of didn't know what I was doing, and never kind of pursued it until more recently, when it became very apparent that when enterprises and educational organizations look to take advantage of a platform like VR, it's likely not to be in onesie, twosie devices, right? You're going to be running a classroom, or you're going to be running a group where you need that group to have a coordinated experience, and you're not going to have experienced folks that you're dealing with. So the ability to manage those sessions and to give people a good session and experience within the headset is very, very important at scale, meaning, across a large set of devices, whether that's 5 or 10 or 10 or 50. And Grove XR management enables you to do that. As you're watching the video that's playing on the right side of the screen, you get a good sense of some of the things that Grove does. Launches you into a session, connects you to multiple devices. You're able to see what's going on all those devices and manage and control that. So let's jump in and take a look. So again, Grove XR, device management for the Go and the Quest. Now, I will put a caveat in here that as I talked to the devs, they do express that they will and are interested in talking to organizations who may have a fleet of differing devices. And so there certainly seems the ability to customize this solution outside the Oculus ecosystem. So if you're interested, highly advise you maybe talk to the folks at Grove. Full remote control for VR devices. Installs as an app via SideQuest. You won't find XR in the Oculus store. It's a SideQuest app. We haven't kind of gone into using SideQuest here at VR for Work. So that's something you can find a ton of information out on YouTube and the internet about how to do that. And that's how you would get Grove XR on your devices. Once you load it up and fire it up for the first time, you will have to give it access and privileges to the devices that you're managing. And that's one of the things that, as you're security minded, and as I tend to be, you know, it kind of gives you pause and hesitates. But when you think about what you are trying to do, it's no different than when you put a remote control application on a PC. You have to give it access to do certain things on that device and able to manage it and control it. And then it connects via a web browser dashboard, right? You're not installing an app on a computer or a tablet or a smartphone. You're doing this all through the web. And you can provide control on startup or per session. What I mean by that is you can set Grove XR on your devices to automatically start every time that device boots. So that, again, in a classroom situation, you have a lot of kids who would, you know, they jump in and who knows what they will be doing in the headset at any given point. You can prevent those kinds of issues, have it boot right into the Grove XR app where you can manage and control it. And you know, it's all about saving time and not spending cycles trying to get everybody to the same place and getting them out of apps or places that they shouldn't be. And you'll see that as we go through the session today. Again, you can start, pause, stop, change, and you can see where a given device or user is in an experience across multiple devices. It's very, very powerful. It's a great app. And then you can create shared control across devices with access to apps, videos, links, right? So you can take, again, a whole fleet, whether that's an individual classroom where maybe you have 20 devices, or a lab where you maybe have 50 devices, and you can make sure that everybody is having the same thing happening at the same time. Okay, let's get into it. So this is the Grove XR site, and as I scroll through here rather quickly, this site, they've got a great website, right? They do everything through the web, and there's just a ton of information about what Grove XR is and how you use it. And in fact, this is where you go to also launch your dashboard. So after you connect, you can do the installation and you connect the session to your account, you will see all your devices show up here in the web dashboard. So it's one location for all your information and for your sessions with your headsets. Okay, so from here, you can see I'm connected to my account. You know, this nice little icon. We love VR for work. Thank you, Grove XR. And we'll go on from here. And you can scroll through, and as you scroll, again, the website is very densely packed with information. You get a lot of tutorials that are just running live here in front of you that you can watch and pick up hints and tips very quickly. When you first set up and download Grove, you get some emails where they will offer to let you onboard yourself, which is, you know, the option I picked. Or you can actually contact them and they will help you get set up and get started with Grove. So the group there is very, very invested in this for you. Now, once I'm here on the site, again, I can go down, I can go through some tutorials and some refreshers. But right over here on the left, you can see I have a session going on. I have a headset that's been registered and connected. So as I click on that session, right, it gives me, okay, here's my account, here's what's connected. I have one device, Oculus Quest, and then the option to go to a session. Or I can start a new session with another device if I wanted, or add a device to this current session. And so we're going to go into the session, and right up here, so this is your dashboard. And you can see I can give IDs to each of the devices, and I get a status, red, yellow, green light. I'm green, so I'm connected, and I'm currently already in the Grove launcher. So in this particular case with the demo, I put my headset on, I went to unknown sources, and I launched Grove myself, which is, you know, my use case for it. But I could have easily, after I connect here, tell Grove to launch every time the device is rebooted, and it's automatically already there, ready to go. Now, when I select the given device that I'm working with, or if I had multiple devices, I could check off the ones that I want to control and manage a group of them all at one time. I get this little control panel that pops up down at the lower part of my screen. Then the ellipsis up here in the upper right gives me an additional menu, and you can see all the information that I can get, you know, the version of Grove that I'm running. I can get information about my device. I can rename the device right here, just as ID1. I could say it, you call it Lab 001. I can lock the device. I can pause whatever the device is doing at the moment. And if I've already started an experience, I can restart that experience. What we're going to do is actually select Start Video Stream. And so I'm going to go down there. I'm going to click Start Video Stream. And you can see it says Started Streams for Device 1 down here. Now, nothing actually pops up on the screen to have to, I think, for a minute. But up here at the very top, you have to change your view from Grove View to Screen View. So there we are. So now I have this slider, and I can make this screen, and this is the live view from my headset. And what I have running at the moment is just the Grove 3D environment with the session name. Now, let me pause real quick. What I did is I went down here to the bottom, and I clicked on Start an Experience. And actually, let me go back here a second. Pause. So right down here, Library is what I clicked on. So I'll click on Library, and this shows me all the applications that are installed on my device. And it actually surprised me a little bit because it got the stuff from the Oculus Store as well as unknown sources. And even here's an app, the Human Anatomy app, that was from the Go Store. So it recognizes all the applications that you have there. Let me pause again a second. Now up here you have 3 tabs once you're in the dashboard and you're actually connected to a device, right? So I can see the apps on the device. I can create and launch links from the device. So here's a link that I created, and you can do these in advance. So again, let's say you want an experience where you're going to lead a class or a group of individuals through a 360 video, or have them watch a given video or experience at the same time. You can pre-populate that link in here so that you're just going to select those headsets. You're going to launch the library, go into links, and they'll all watch the same thing. And then you could even make playlists where you're linking some of these things together, and then you can go in sequence, right? And I'll give you an example when we go through the demo in a little bit. But again, you know, again, library of everything that's on the device here. Okay. And then, what did I do? I think, did I start this over? I think I did. Yes. So what I want to do is actually get to the end here. All right. Now, am I on the right one? Nope. Let's see. Okay. And so now that we have that, let me pause here a second. Grove does give you a couple of different environments that you can put in the headsets. These are very simple, static 3D environments, but I think it's a great add-on, especially when you're thinking about education and you know, capturing the attention of a classroom or students. or frankly, even adults, so that they're not looking at the same thing every time they go into the headset, where you can change from the secret grove. And I think I'm going to select, and this is a good example where once you select a particular thing from the library or setting, you have to click launch, and then you click launch, and now I'm in the tiny planet world. And then I'll go from the tiny planet world, and I think I pick the snowy globe world. You can see very, very simple things, snow globe, and change launch, and I'm in the snow environment. So again, even those environments that students or users might be in, you can give them a little bit of variety and attention. Now I'm going to go back in here a second into my library, and I'm selecting the Anne Frank house. So I've clicked that, and then I'll click launch. And this is that idea where you can have a playlist, and you can send a group of headsets into an educational experience where I'm going to load up the Anne Frank house, right? And this is the view right from my headset. And I could have 5, 10, 20, 50 headsets all going into this at the same time. And I can watch all of them here in the video output to ensure that everybody's at the right spot at the right time. I can come down here and I can pause the experience and give some explanation, which I do here in a moment. So we kick it off, and this is a great little free app if you've never experienced before that tells the story about Anne Frank. And so it's going to come up with some narration and a few pictures. But at a certain point, right, again, here I go, and I press pause for a second, right? Because at some point I might want to pause and give some context and an explanation to the class. As you know, maybe I want to say, all right, maybe this is the first time you're hearing about Adolf Hitler. Who was he? Let's pause, listen to me for a second, and then we'll start right back up. And then you pause it, they'll get the Grove icon, you know, and so you can have their attention, at least their auditory attention, and then you can start things back up. And you know, I think VR is absolutely the most powerful, medium that we have for training and education available to us. And so having a tool like Grove at your disposal really just brings that to life and makes it possible to really manage across a large group of people. And so I've paused it. We're going to move on from here. I've kind of shown you, you know, the nuts and bolts of this, but let's go through some things that it does. Okay, again, real-time info and streaming. We saw that, right? So we can connect to each of these headsets. We get these nice little visual icons that kind of give us a sense that we're connected. Oh, wait a minute, I got one that's not connected. Something's wrong, and I can address that so that I can keep the class moving, because this is all about managing time. And one of the things that you can get into some difficulty with is actually managing the time it takes to get a particular class set up, get a session started, spend time getting everybody in the right spot. I mean, that can be minutes, and those minutes adds up to hours, and frustration to where, you know, the headset won't be valuable to you. And so having a tool like Grove makes this really possible. Launching, pausing, restarting, again, really, really powerful. Keep everybody on the same track in the same place at the same time. Management of the devices. If these devices are purchased explicitly for classroom or training needs, you don't need it booting up where, you know, the whole menu comes up and people can you know, launch or get into any experience they want. You need them in the experience you're training them on at that specific moment. So full control over the device. And then in-app management for integrated apps. So there's certain apps that you can actually control the click points and the progression through it while it's in the app. You can contact Grove for more information about it. The app kind of has to be Grove aware of it, or you can talk to Grove about actually using their SDK to further tailor a specific experience. So, for instance, when we launched the Anne Frank app, the classroom or the participant would still have to click a specific button to go to that next area. Grove isn't going to do that for you, doesn't kind of give you that capability natively unless it's already built into the application. Okay, and then remote and cross-platform support. So again, it's browser-based. So whether you're using a Mac, whether you're using Windows. In fact, I actually tried this on my cell phone, and I could run the dashboard from my cell phone and manage my headset device. So that's awesome. That's really, really powerful. And a little note down here, multiple people manage the same session. So more than one person can connect. So if you've got a teacher and another participant, maybe it's somebody who works in the Jewish community who's going to talk about Anne Frank. They could have a dashboard and maybe particularly stop an experience at a given point to comment on their knowledge or understanding about World War II and what happened to the Jews during that horrific time. Okay, pricing. Here we go. Now, this is great for those of you home users, consumers who have 3 or fewer devices. You can get Grove for free for 3 or fewer devices. This is what I'm using. This is what I brought you the demo on. I have my single headset now. My Quest 2 is on the way. When I get it, I will absolutely be loading Grove up with the intent that when my kids and grandkids come over, I can actually use this and actually do some sessions with them to walk them through getting used to VR, understanding what it is, getting them into the same experiences at the same time, and that's all free. Now, for the Oculus Go, which we all know at this point is being retired, but is still very much out there in numbers, right? Your cost for up to 100 devices is basically $5 a device per month, right? And you get all the features that I showed you, and then the dedicated support, 12-hour response time. And then the highest tier is the Pro version, and then you want to contact Grove for numbers over 100, and you can talk to them about pricing. Now, if you're dealing with the Quest, that's $8 per headset per month, and again, you get all the features and functionality that we had talked about here today, and then the 12-hour response time for support. And then again, if you're over 100 headsets, you contact Grove XR for pricing. All right, let's talk about an assessment. I'm excited about Grove XR. I think it's absolutely awesome. If you have 5 or more headsets that you're trying to manage and control, and you really want to get the most out of it, you need a device management system, right? If this saves you 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's almost an hour a week of your time back, not having to manage the devices. Now, that goes up exponentially as you go to 10 headsets, as you go to 50 headsets. So having a device management system is critical as you get into any kind of scale. And you want to manage experiences and not hardware. So highly, highly recommended that you look at Grove. So consumption of information retention, that's not what this is about. Those are NAs. production and efficiency, right there is its sweet spot, right? You want to keep these headsets in production. You want to be able to use them. You want to be efficient with how you use them. You do not want to waste cycles, seconds, minutes, managing these. You want people to be able to put these on, and you want them to go, right? Flow and ergonomics, again, not so much about what these are about, although I might state that, it keeps flow going in a classroom where, again, you're not juggling one headset at a time, trying to help somebody figure out, where they are, where they put the cursor and where they point the laser and how to pull the trigger, right? You can do all that for them. And then social and collaboration. Not again, especially where these things are targeted, but it enables social and collaboration to occur, again, at scale in large settings with large groups of devices, and helps you create those joint experiences for people that they can share and talk about later, when they all come out of the Anne Frank House experience and go, what, did you notice this occurred? And did you hear that statement? And did you realize this happened in history? And they've all kind of seen and shared that very powerful 3D experience, immersive experience together. And that very, very powerful. And then the ROI, again, add up your time. How much time would you save per headset? And again, if it's 10 minutes a week or a day at 10 headsets, 100 minutes a day times however many, you add up and you'll get your ROI, I think, very, very quickly. Okay, so that's it for us here at VR for Work. Thank you again for stopping by. We really always appreciate it, and hope you'll check out our VR for Work Facebook page, where you can communicate with other people who are interested in using VR for business and professional use. Our Twitter feed, VR for the number 4 WRK. We most always drop the O. VR for Work Twitter feed. And then if you need to reach us, it's VR, the number 4 WRK @gmail.com. That's work with no O. Thank you again for joining us. Really appreciate you being with us today, and we'll see you in the metaverse. Bye now.